Which testimony would you rather have? The spiritual testimony of the 3 witnesses or the material testimony of the 8 witnesses?
Difficult, very difficult.
It's actually not that simple. I'm making this video because I wanted to share something that I've been coming to terms with that I think is beautiful and empowering. Hi, my name is Will Perez and welcome to the first 2024 episode of Latter-day Divers, where we dive into the words of ancient and modern prophets. I'm sure you're familiar with the testimonies at the beginning of the Book of Mormon, but here's a brief recap by Latter-day Saint historian Richard Bushman. When a few of Smith's friends were allowed to view the plates, their testimonies again broke down into heavenly and mundane versions. 3 of them said that an angel of God came down from heaven to lay the plates before them, and the voice of God proclaimed that they had been translated by the gift and power of God. The remaining 8 experienced nothing like the first 3. There was no heavenly presence, no angel, no voice from heaven. The 8 witnesses said only that they had seen and hefted the plates. The angel turned the pages of the plates for the 3 witnesses. The 8 witnesses turned the pages for themselves. So some of the witnesses have this divine manifestation, while the rest of them have a much more down-to-earth experience. I used to turn my nose up at the testimony of the 8 witnesses, having been taught somewhere down the line that the spiritual testimony of the others was far superior. But as I've shared recently on this channel, working on a graduate degree in history has helped me to more fully appreciate how the sacred and the secular, the divine and the material, actually work together to provide a fuller picture and to even fortify faith. As with the 3 and 8 witnesses, both types of testimonies have value and work together to provide a clearer picture of the mysteries of godliness operating within the reality of our lived experience. I've come to appreciate how beautiful it is to live in an enchanted world where both things can be true, where, as the Apostle Paul taught, God has given us treasure in earthen vessels, that the excellency of the power may be of God and not of us. Consider the golden plates themselves, striking metal sheets, carefully crafted, expertly engraved, containing the fullness of the everlasting gospel, translated by the gift and power of God. On the other hand, they are time-worn, buried in the ground, sent forth out of the earth, a record riddled with imperfections. Although the plates assert themselves to be written by the spirit of prophecy and revelation, under the convincing of Jew and Gentile that Jesus is the Christ, Moroni, their last guardian, expresses this painful awareness of our weakness in writing because of the awkwardness of our hands. Even though they were delivered to him by an angel, Joseph Smith still had to hide the sacred treasure in a log, under a hearth, beneath the floor of his father's house, and in piles of grain. Do the more mundane aspects of the golden plates cancel out their more divine characteristics? No. But do they make them more real and relatable to our lives today? Absolutely. I actually think our lives are more a reflection of the duality of the plates. They are more a combination of the testimony of the 3 witnesses and the 8 witnesses. Sometimes in our life, an angel turns the pages for us, but other times, we simply turn the pages for ourselves. Both experiences can be beautiful and instructive, and it's a dangerous illusion to think that only one category is right or valid. It is this tension between the earthly and the heavenly that allows us to live in an enchanted world where falls can be fortunate and prophets can be fallible. And while I acknowledge that only by the power of the Holy Ghost can we know the truth of all things, I've really come to appreciate the value of more mundane testimonies like those shared by the 8 witnesses. Richard Bushman observed that some Latter-day Saints lament that the plates did not remain in Joseph Smith's possession as proof that he was not making everything up. But that would have broken the spell. The tension between earthly and heavenly would have ended. The plates would have fallen into the hands of archaeologists, historians, and metallurgists and become solely an earthly artifact. In returning to the angel who guarded them, the plates retained their hybrid nature, material and spiritual, their mystery preserved. I, for one, am grateful for the mystery. Often my experience has been more like that of the 8 witnesses than the 3 witnesses, and that's okay. We all have beautiful testimonies to share that can enhance God's work and glory. Let's not write them off so quickly. What do you make of all this? Do you see any other symbols in the dual nature of the plates? How have the testimonies of the 3 and 8 witnesses strengthened your own? I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Thanks for watching, and come back soon for another episode of Latter-day Divers.